Hi LEGO fans! Hermes the Owl just dropped off this year's epic big box Harry Potter set, which combines iconic Hogwarts objects to make an impressive 3010 element magical display piece. Today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building and reviewing set number 76391 Hogwarts Icons Collectors Edition from LEGO Harry Potter. I say, no underage wizards allowed in today. Yes, this is an 18+ build, which is a clever marketing strategy to make adult fans of LEGO buy expensive sets. Although not as expensive as 2020's Diagon Alley or 2019's Hogwarts Castle, this will still set you back $250, €250 or 230 of your Great British pounds. Looks like LEGO is going to need to get another vault at Gringotts. The box art is very stylish and fits the theming used for other adult-oriented LEGO sets. I especially like the iconography of the Hogwarts Castle outline used for the set name. This set is very much designed for display and not play. We have a large posable recreation of Harry's snowy owl Hedwig, and she has a special delivery in the form of a Hogwarts invitation letter. You can personalise this by adding your name with a Sharpie, but no! Don't draw on your LEGO, it's as bad as using Craggle. Other objects include the golden snitch Harry nearly swallowed during his first game of Quidditch, a nicely crafted chocolate frog, and Harry's trademark round spectacles. A nice and supple recreation of Harry's 11-inch holly wand rests on a stack of magical textbooks, and poking out from underneath is a Gryffindor house scarf. On the top of the box we get a closer look at potions paraphernalia, including powdered root of asphodel, some pre-prepared polyjuice potion, and a vial of Felix Felicis, also known as liquid luck. Over on the back we get to appreciate just how much detail is included in this magical masterpiece, including Hermione's box of potions ingredients. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. If you spent almost $500 to get all of the 20th anniversary gold minifigures, LEGO just raised the bar. The $250 price of this set includes 3 more 20th anniversary minifigures: Gryffindor Head of House Minerva McGonagall, Hogwarts Keeper of Keys and Grounds Rubeus Hagrid, and finally Hogwarts Headmaster Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. The minifigures come on this fantastic display stand, which puts Dumbledore centre stage on a chocolate frog card. The dimensions of this set are quite impressive, and I wish I could put an undetectable extension charm on my house. It stands 50 cm or 19.5 inches wide and almost 45 cm or 17.5 inches tall. For those of us who did not have the misfortune to be sorted into Gryffindor, you can customise the scarf to your own house colours. Go Ravenclaw! Before we pursue that flighty temptress, LEGO building, let's see what's inside the box. Here's everything that came inside the box. We've got 22 numbered bags of LEGO, a 410-page instruction booklet, 3 8x16 printed plates for the Hogwarts invitation letter, and a sticker sheet for the potions labels. I'm going to go ahead and build the 76391 Hogwarts Icons Collectors Edition, and today this is going to be a 3-minute speed build. And here is a completed 76391 Hogwarts Icons Collectors Edition from LEGO Harry Potter! Build time was 5.5 hours and included a wide variety of really interesting build techniques. In particular, I love the way the pages of Tom Riddle's diary are made. Another really cool feature is that the minifigure display can be extended to incorporate 6 more gold 20th anniversary minifigures. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to tackle this epic build from the ground up, starting with Harry's glasses and wand. I'll be explaining my choice of house colours and pausing for a little snack with our friend the Chocolate Frog. We'll be checking out the hidden Horcrux within the stack of books, and drafting an immediate response to our Hogwarts invitation, which was most definitely not delivered by Hedwig. Hidden behind the letter, we have a basket of potions paraphernalia, and a rather nice golden snitch which really did need a transclear axle. Of course, the star of the show is Harry's owl Hedwig. We'll be taking a close look at her and providing a side-by-side comparison with the now rather puny automaton version from 2020. Finally, we have 3 magically magnificent gold 20th anniversary minifigures to take a look at. We'll be getting up close and personal with them and comparing them to their on-screen characters. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get on with it. Firstly, I have to comment on the sheer size of this thing. From the base to the highest point of Hedwig's wing is 17.5 inches or 44.5 centimeters. It's also slightly scary to move around. As you might have noticed, Hedwig did try and make a break for it, if you excuse the pun, during the speed build. Unfortunately, she got hit by the killing curse. Sorry, too soon? The whole thing is a little bit wobbly and definitely not a toy. The 18+ recommended age is well deserved. One of the more interesting iconic builds from this collection is Harry Potter's spectacles. Harry, your eyesight really is awful. Well, it can't be that bad because mostly Daniel Radcliffe wore frames without lenses. Harry Potter was meant to have green eyes, like his mother, but Daniel couldn't tolerate the contact lenses, so Harry Potter ended up with blue eyes. This final scene from the Philosopher's Stone was filmed first in sequence. Radcliffe actually looks like he's tearing up when saying goodbye to Hagrid. In reality, his eyes were just sore after they took out the contact lenses. Although the glasses look very cool, the construction is very flimsy indeed. They're made out of mostly Technic elements and come apart very easily. The round elements are brand new and currently exclusive to this set. The arms, apart from being very wobbly, do look the part. I particularly like the curved ends which tuck behind the ears, and yes, you can wear these. These do look the part, but they're not sturdy enough for dressing up on World Book Day. Staying with Potter related props, this is Harry's wand which was made of holly. The wand is meant to be 11 inches long, but in this case it's 14 inches. In fact, LEGO got this detail right. Despite what it said in the book, in the film adaptations, Harry's wand measured approximately 14 inches long. This one also seems to be lacking the Phoenix tail feather core. That tail feather and the one that came inside Voldemort's wand came from Dumbledore's Phoenix forks. One trait the LEGO version does share with Harry's is that it's nice and supple. Being made of LEGO, it is quite blocky and there are quite a few studs on show. Using light and dark brown elements helps to provide some contrast between the handle and the shaft. The textured elements on the handle help to make this look like it was hewn from wood. My least favourite part of the construction is the shaft. Having some of it smooth and some of it covered in studs makes it look unfinished. There is an odd spherical element underneath the wand, but it is actually quite useful. There's a grey element sticking out of Tom Riddle's diary, and this does a very good job of keeping Harry's wand in place. As well as wearing out Harry Potter's spectacles, Radcliffe is said to have worn out 60 to 70 wands during the making of the Harry Potter movies. Peeking out from underneath the books, we find a Hogwarts house scarf. On the box, LEGO shows the model complete with a Gryffindor scarf. In fact, LEGO includes a bunch of different coloured elements so you can customise this to your own house colours. But as usual, LEGO got the colours wrong for Ravenclaw. This should be blue and bronze, representing sky and eagle feathers. Colours are very important in the wizarding world and used in the names of 2 of these characters. Rubeus, the first name of Hagrid, is Latin for red, hence the English word ruby. Similarly, Albus is Latin for white, maybe because Dumbledore is a good wizard. We'll come back to the chocolate frog card later in the video. In the meantime, if anyone's feeling hungry, check out this totally awesome chocolate frog. It's an absolutely fantastic build and I could almost take a bite out of this. Chocolate frogs are a popular wizarding sweet made from 70% croco. Presumably this substance gave them the acrobatic abilities of an active amphibian. Every detail of the chocolate frog is perfect, including those round eyes and a mouth that hangs slightly open. It's not easy to see from the front, but I love the way the eyes are mounted on trans-clear elements. LEGO even left a couple of studs exposed on the top for the nostrils. For the feet, we have a new reddish-brown version of this modified 1x2 plate. These are attached to short legs at the front, and much longer, more powerful legs at the back. These are not only hinged at the hip, but also at the knee. For a relatively small build, this is actually quite complex and was interesting to put together. As a bonus fact, Harry's mum was born with a chocolate frog on her head. That's why they called her Lily. I know these puns are riveting, but I'm sure you think I'm hopping mad, so let's totally move on. Although this set sounds like it's going to be a collection of random stuff, everything comes together to make a really nice display. The framework which brings this set together is a stack of 3 books. Not only do they look cool, they also provide a sturdy perch for Hedwig to stand on. Although the binding of the red book doesn't give away the contents, it is a particularly well constructed book. The textured 1x2 bricks help to give the illusion of pages. The blue book also lacks a title, but maybe this is Harry's copy of A History of Magic. The open book at the bottom, however, is quite a different beast. It's based on the diary of Tom Riddle as shown in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. What I love about this is how LEGO made the edges of those pages. These are made of stacked angled pieces which are slotted loosely into place. The diary of TM Riddle also includes decorative gold edges, and blank pages to record the thoughts of Ginny Weasley. She acquired the diary after Lucius Malfoy slipped it into her cauldron of school supplies at Flourish and Blotts in 1992. The diary bewitched young Miss Weasley, turned her into a graffiti artist, and made her release the basilisk which had to be stabbed to death by Harry. Moving up from the books, we get a closer look at Hedwig's perch. This is built first, it's very sturdy, and then the books are built around it. Hedwig's legs are constructed as part of the stand, and then the body slots onto the top. Just be careful to do it properly. As you might have noticed, Hedwig is missing a certain Hogwarts invitation letter. This is made from 3 8x16 printed tiles. I like the way these have been articulated to make the letter look like it's unfolding. Using ball joints gives this a very articulated look. Mounted underneath we find 2 clips, and these provide quite an effective way for Hedwig to hold the letter in her talons. The letter is quite a good recreation of the invitation most of us would have liked to have gotten when we were 11 years old. It's made from the same element LEGO uses for the Ultimate Collector Series information plaques. The plastic has a matte finish instead of the usual shiny plastic. The colour is a great choice and does resemble parchment. At the top we find the Hogwarts house crest complete with all 4 house animals and the school motto. Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus is of course Latin for never tickle a sleeping dragon. The middle section gets down to business. The recipient has been accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and should take out a second mortgage at Gringotts before heading down to Diagon Alley for some school stuff. LEGO even left a blank space so you can write in your own name with a Sharpie. Needless to say, this part is very expensive to replace and you should not do this under any circumstances. The letter is always signed by the Deputy Headmaster or Headmistress, or as we call them in 2021, a head teacher. Hogwarts invitation letters are usually delivered by Owl. Harry's initial letter was sent by Muggle Post, which is quite unusual. Even more unusual is having Rubeus Hagrid personally deliver the letter to the hut on the rock. But I digress. Floating around next to the invitation letter is a golden snitch. This is worth 150 points in a game of Quidditch if a team's seeker is able to find it before the other team's seeker. It's not very easy to make a round object out of LEGO elements, but LEGO has done a really nice job here. I love the pearl gold dishes, which are definitely desirable elements. The wings, which should really be silver, are made of these balloon segment elements. The first time I saw these was in a LEGO Friends set and they are very effective. They have a beautiful organic shape and are super reflective. The thing I really dislike about the snitch is the fact that LEGO used a black axle to mount it. Would it really have been that difficult to make a trans-clear one? It's mounted from behind, but this is not the elegant solution it should have been. It does, however, give us a nice segue into Hermione's potions tray. The tray is really decorative and marked with the initials of Hermione Granger. Inside the tray we have quite the collection of potions producing paraphernalia. There are 3 bottles containing ingredients, 1 containing a potion, and also a vial containing Felix Felicis. We first encountered little Felix in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Harry received the vial as a prize for brewing an acceptable draught of living death. A curious little potion, Felix Felicis, also known as Liquid Luck, makes the drinker lucky for a period of time. The Lego vial is fairly simple and made up of 6 elements. It also has a sticker identifying the potion within. The colour of the plastic is quite unusual and hides an illuminating secret. Lego's version of Felix Felicis glows in the dark, and very impressively it glows too. Our next container contains gillyweed, a plant of great interest to herbologists like Neville Longbottom. Gillyweed is used as an ingredient in a drink called gilly water, but we know it more famously as the plant that gave Harry Potter gills during the second task of the 1994 Triwizard Tournament. Neville provided gillyweed to the boy what Gondon lived, and he promptly scarfed it down. After that, Harry Potter was able to breathe underwater successfully in the Great Lake. The trans-clear plastic container actually contains plant material which looks rather effective. Each container is made of 2 half cylinders which are pushed together. The pieces on top stop the contents falling out, and also make this look like a bottle with a stopper in the top. The end result is really quite effective. Next we have a bottle of Polyjuice Potion, which according to Mad Eye Moody tastes like goblin piss. That man always could turn a phrase. Hermione Granger brewed Polyjuice Potion in her second year at Hogwarts. Along with Harry and Ron, she wanted to infiltrate the Slytherin common room to find out if Draco was the heir of Slytherin. Harry and Ron became Crabbe and Goyle. Ooh, essence of crab! But after speaking with Draco, it was clear he was not the heir of Slytherin. Hermione's transformation into Millicent Bulstrode went badly wrong after the hair she procured turned out to be from Bulstrode's cat. If you want to hear more about the Polyjuice Potion mistake, then do check out my review of that awesome set. The bottle is appropriately labelled and carries Hermione Granger's initials. Another sticker at the bottom carries what appears to be a batch number. Being a green and often lumpy potion, these 1x1 trans green plates are perfect. You can carefully count out 60 elements and drop them in the bottle, or just go ahead and throw them all in. The next 2 ingredients are actually used commonly together.
What would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood?
You don't have to be an insufferable know-it-all to know that adding powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood will help you to make the draft of living death. I'm not certain what colour powdered root of asphodel is meant to be, but in this case it's represented by about 50 1x1 round plates in brown. Asphodel, also known as royal staff, is a real plant and a member of the lily family. The other key ingredient for the draft of living death is infusion of wormwood. Wormwood is a very bitter herb that's been used in potion making since ancient times. Muggles like to use wormwood to make absinthe. In this case, Lego represents the infusion of wormwood using trans dark green studs. The collection of potions ingredients is one of my favourite aspects of this set. What you see in front of you accounts for about 7% of the total part count. With all of the little bits and pieces covered, it's time to move on to the main event. This is Harry's owl Hedwig. Hedwig is a snowy owl, also known as polar owl, white owl or arctic owl. Harry received his beloved owl as an 11th birthday gift from Rubeus Hagrid. Hagrid purchased the owl from Elop's Owl Emporium in Diagon Alley. Lego's recreation of Hedwig is absolutely superb. With a wingspan of about 50 centimeters, she's about a third of the size of a fully grown snowy owl. The head is absolutely stunning, and just like a real owl, Hedwig can turn her head to look behind her. The forward-facing eyes provide excellent stereoscopic vision, and those dual-moulded elements are the same ones that came with the automaton Hedwig. The curved elements around the eyes really help to give the owl a realistic look. At first I thought the beak was a little bit too small, but if you compare Hedwig to a snowy owl, you'll notice that much of the beak is covered in feathers. Speaking of feathers, check out all of that sculpted detail on top of the head. Lego clearly invested time getting the details on the tail and the legs just right. Snowy owls live in very cold climates, so keeping extremities like the legs warm is really important. Here you can see how the designers captured all those fluffy feathers, which is not easy to do in Lego. The talons have been recreated using ball joints, which gives the illusion that they're holding onto the letter. If you think Hedwig looks impressive from the front, then check out the view from behind. Filming a white Lego object against a white background is not always easy, but this does show how effective the snowy owl's camouflage is against the snow. The dark flecks in the feathers help to confirm that Hedwig is a female owl. Technically I think these should be dark brown, but Lego have used grey and black. The effect nonetheless is perfect. Also perfect is the way that the feathers have been articulated. You can fan the feathers out even further to give a more dramatic effect, but I love the fact that when you fold these back in, they stop at just the right place. On the back and the wings, the patination becomes more elaborate and more difficult to build. There are a bunch of quarter circle pieces creating the illusion of feathers. What you can't fail to miss on this magnificent model is Hedwig's impressive wingspan. Each set of feathers is mounted on a ball joint which provides excellent articulation. The only exception are the trailing edges which are mounted on a pivot point. All of the other feathers can be individually manipulated to pose our avian friend with perfect precision. Even underneath the wings, the attention to detail is impressive, most impressive. This recreation of Hedwig in LEGO form is a beautiful, beautiful thing, but how does she compare to the version we got previously? As much as I enjoyed building and playing with the old wind-up Hedwig, the new version absolutely blows it out of the water. But while this may be one impressive bird, you're never going to be able to strap on a motor and crank it up to 100. 76391 Hogwarts Icons Collectors Edition is an absolutely fantastic set for Harry Potter enthusiasts. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. We also get 3 magically magnificent minifigures and a chocolate frog card. 20th anniversary Minerva McGonagall, 20th anniversary Rubeus Hagrid, and 20th anniversary Albus Dumbledore, Richard Harris version. First up, we have Professor Minerva McGonagall, Order of Merlin First Class. She was played by the excellent Dame Maggie Smith and appeared in every Harry Potter film. Like almost all of the gold 20th anniversary minifigures, she comes complete with a gold wand. If I'm not mistaken, 9.5 inches long, made of fur with a dragon heartstring core. Hailing from Scotland, McGonagall always wore emerald green robes. The printing on the minifigure recreates the robes perfectly, albeit in gold rather than green. Even more detail comes out when you angle the minifigure towards the light. That printing flows from the torso down onto the legs almost flawlessly. It's slightly disappointing that LEGO didn't print the back of the skirt piece. But at least we do have some printing on the back of the torso celebrating 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter. LEGO keeps on improving the hat mould for McGonagall but misses one important detail. There should be feathers in the hat. Apart from the lack of feathers, it is beautifully moulded and also incorporates McGonagall's hair. Unlike some of the other 20th anniversary minifigures, we only have one facial expression. Although the head of Gryffindor House can be quite stern, here she has a really warm smile as she peers over her spectacles. Apart from the obvious difference in colour and the missing feathers, the minifigure is a very close representation of the character we first saw in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Next we have Hogwarts Keeper of Grounds and Keys, ex-inmate of Azkaban, and lover of inappropriate magical creatures, Rubeus Hagrid. He carries a gold version of the pink umbrella which usually conceals Hagrid's wand. Hagrid is not permitted to have a wand after being falsely accused of releasing the basilisk during his 3rd year at Hogwarts. According to the books, Hagrid is almost twice as tall as a normal man and at least 5 times as wide. When you compare the minifigure to a young Harry Potter, you can see this just isn't true. In the early movies, the directors go to a lot of trouble to make Hagrid look huge. In a lot of distant scenes, Hagrid doesn't look quite right. That's because they made an animatronic version to sit on the shoulders of another actor. There were also some practical effects when it came to Hagrid's hut. They built an oversized version of the interior to make it look huge against the kids, and an exact copy at a smaller scale to make Robbie Coltrane look massive. The minifigure is beautifully printed and an almost perfect recreation of Hagrid. Here we see him wearing multiple layers, including a bulky overcoat. The overcoat even has 2 overstuffed pockets. The metallic printing is once again magnificent. Check out those golden stars which make him look like he's glistening in the light. On the back of the coat we have the celebration of 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter, and check out the amount of detail in Hagrid's crazy hair. Somewhat ironically for an infamously tall half-giant, Hagrid actually has really small child's legs. He also has removable arms that snap into the side of his body. Usually it's not a good idea to remove arms from minifigures. The face is absolutely perfect and hidden mostly by a huge mane of hair and beard. After a good shave and a haircut, Hagrid actually looks quite distinguished with his weathered face. Despite being one of the most beloved characters, LEGO has actually only released 6 versions of Hagrid. The first version came out in 2001 and appeared in 4 sets. That was revised in 2004 with some flesh-coloured skin and appeared in 2 sets. He got a very minor upgrade in 2010 and appeared in a further 3 sets. This version from 2018 also appeared in 3 sets, but this more dapper version of Hagrid was more exclusive. He appeared in 75958, Beauxbaton's carriage arrival at Hogwarts. That brings us full circle back to this golden beauty. LEGO has done an absolutely fantastic job recreating the lovable half-giant. He's a huge addition to the gold minifigure lineup, and I can't wait to reunite him with the others. Finally, we have the Chris Columbus era Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. He was played by the late great Irish actor Richard Harris, and couldn't appear in the third movie on account of being deceased. At least we got to enjoy the talents of Michael Gambon for a few years, before the unfortunate Astronomy Tower base jumping incident. Gold Dumbledore is a particularly nice looking minifigure. He is of course based on Dumbledore played by Richard Harris and not Michael Gambon. He does of course come with a golden wand. The wand we saw Dumbledore using in the movies was in fact the Elder Wand. He won it off Gellert Grindelwald when they duelled in 1945. With other Richard Harris era Dumbledore minifigures, LEGO usually shows him not wearing a hat. So I'm really pleased to see that with the gold minifigure we do have a hat on top of the head. This matches the costume of Dumbledore at the start of the Philosopher's Stone. It's a very large piece of headgear which incorporates Dumbledore's long white hair, or in this case gold hair. It's also really nice to have the star decorations picked out in metallics. Removing the beard and the hair provides a closer look at the printing, which is very crisp. There's also a bunch of metallic detail which pops when you get the light just right. There's no printed detail around the back except for the 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter on the back of the torso. Similarly, there's no alternate expression on the back of the head. The printing around the front is very good indeed and closely resembles Richard Harris. When he's reunited with his beard and hat, this is unmistakably Dumbledore. Or Gandalf of course. Comparing the gold minifigure to the character in the movie, this is near perfect. Dumbledore is quite the revered figure and appears on chocolate frog cards. It's fitting therefore that we have a brick-built chocolate frog card for Dumbledore to reside within. The pentagonal shape of the purple card was actually quite tricky to build, but the end result is very nice. Dumbledore features prominently in the middle of the card, and he even has a printed gold nameplate. Speaking of printed nameplates, check out this LEGO Harry Potter printed tile. No stickering in this part of the build. From the back we get a closer look at how this was put together. There are actually 5 separate sections which snap together to form the pentagon. The ragtag selection of bricks does leave some gaps, but the end result is a pretty convincing chocolate frog card. The cards themselves come with a holographic image of a famous witch or wizard. In this case, Albus Dumbledore. Where's he gone? Well, I guess we can't expect him to hang around all day. Completing the effect is a decorative archway and gold stars just like the ones you see in LEGO Friends sets. The thing I really like about this display stand is the fact that it's got room for all 3 golden minifigures. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. LEGO also included some extra bits. We can remove the sections from each end and make this beast even longer and longer and longer. This magnificent minifigure montage has space for 9 gold 20th anniversary minifigures. I'm actually missing 2, and that's because I'm being really slow at reviewing these sets. Gold Hermione Granger is coming in 76387 Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter, and gold Professor Snape is coming in 76392 Hogwarts Wizard's Chess. Let me know in the comments which one you're most excited to see, and maybe I'll get round to doing that next. So that was the magnificent 76391 Hogwarts Icons Collectors Edition from LEGO Harry Potter! At $250, this is not a cheap LEGO set. But for most people, this is a nice challenging build which should keep you occupied for at least 10 hours. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, then you get a very interesting display piece. But if you are a Harry Potter fan, then this is absolutely fantastic. There is so much packed into this set to enjoy. Harry Potter's glasses, the Hogwarts house scarf, the epic chocolate frog, Harry Potter's wand, the stack of books including Tom Riddle's diary, the customisable invitation letter to Hogwarts which you mustn't customise, the epic and very shiny golden snitch, a wonderful selection of Hermione Granger's potions, and of course the magnificent Hedwig the Owl. The 3 bonus 20th anniversary gold minifigures make this quite a compelling buy, and I love the extended minifigure stand which comes complete with the chocolate frog card. Everything about this set is top notch, and I don't feel the $250 price tag was pitched too high. My favourite parts have to be the collection of potions ingredients, and of course that bloody pigeon. I really enjoyed building the set, but it's been even more fun exploring all of the details. If you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, then a thumbs up is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more LEGO Harry Potter goodness. You'll find loads more LEGO Harry Potter content on my channel, so grab some popcorn and get stuck in. Thanks a million for checking out the review, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next build video.